Hello guys and welcome to BlueBlock. Today we'll be learning how to use Scratch. Scratch is a free website for kids and it helps you learn how to code. It's easy for beginners and let's get into it. So this is the screen you'll start on and you have the option, you have all these options except for these two because these three are usually blocked by a sign in and a join us button. And you can either sign in or make an account, or you can just go ahead and straight away press create to start making your projects. Now, I'm going to show you when you get into a project how to, basically what these sections are. So, first we're starting out with the motion section. I'm going to, let's see, scribble around. And now we have that. The motion will let us move this any way we want. 10 steps to the right, or if we switch it to negative, it'll be 10 steps to the left. And we can also turn it if we want, or make it go to a random position, or we could just put it to a assigned position, or we can make it glide across the screen to a random location. And you can also make it point towards your mouse, and change it specifically with the actual X values. You could set it as well. And this if on edge bounce is basically if it's on the edge, it'll, like, as it says, bounce off. And then the rotation style, left, right, don't rotate, or all around. So we have that, and this is the look section, which allows our game object, for example, this, our doodle, this, we're able to make it say hello, or switch it to a different doodle. If we do this, it'll make our costume 2, and we can make it have green. That's like a cyan color. So our first costume has that, and we can make it switch to the second costume, which has that. Which is how you can easily do animations in Scratch. And then you can switch it. You can always have it switch to the next costume, so it constantly switches to the next one every time that's activated. And then this is the switch backdrop, which makes it to where your backdrop here, which is your background for your stage, your game, allows it to be changed. For example, let's make this one, I don't know, blue. And let's make the second one green. Or actually, I'd suggest yellow. There we go. And we can go back here, and now we have switch backdrop to backdrop 2, which we're already on, but we can switch it back to backdrop 1. There we go. Kind of blends in with that color we already have. And then we can use this to constantly switch it to whatever one's the next one. And then this is the size changing, so we could just change it bigger or smaller, and we can set it to its normal size again by the set 100%. We could also change the color of things to make it, like, you could just easily change it by yourself by drawing it, but I mean, you could also just change it like this. And then we have the clear graphic effects, which will change everything that's been affected to, well, just nothing. And I think we skipped over this. This allows you to set it to a specific color that you, this allows you to set it to a specific color that you need. Like, for example, 40 is always that color. And it depends on what the base color is. And then you can hide it or show it too, which makes it a better way to hide or show your projects, or your game objects, sorry. And then if we go down lower, there's a front layer or back layer. This is good for if we have another game object or sprite, where if it's on top of each other like this, and you want this one right here, I could just change the colors to make this more different. The color of the first one is like that. Color of the second one is, well, yeah. Color of the first one's like this. Color of the second one's like that. And we can change the layers. For example, if we want this in the back layer, we could just go here and press that. So now it's in the back and that's covering it. And we could just switch it back to front if we wanted. And then there's go forward one layer. So for example, if you have more than one game object that you want to go in front, then you could do go like 10 layers if it's 10 game objects you want it to go in front of. Or you can do negative to make it go back. Or you could just switch this. And then this you can use to tell what costume number it is, number 2, and if you switch it back to the first one, it'll be costume number 1, or you can switch it by the name, but it's just called costume 1. So with this, we can have size. It'll tell us our size of the project or the game object that we have. I keep saying project. And then now we're done with the look section. We have the sound section, which basically shows your sounds. There's a whole lot of sounds to choose from in the sound menu, or you can record your own sounds. This is the sound menu. You can either upload your sounds, surprise, which is a random sound, record, or choose a sound, and then you can change the pitch of your sound. So if we have this, I think that pitch is way too high for us to be able to hear. Yeah. Okay, well, there you go. You get that. You could change the pitch to where it goes ridiculously high and you can't even hear it anymore. And then you have the volume, which you probably know what this does by the name. Like, come on. This, well, or pop thing is gone. Oh, boy. Let's do surprise. Duck. Okay. Let's do this, and there we go. Yeah, you can change the volume. You can do 300, I think. I don't think it goes that high. Yeah, I think it does. Well, yeah, you're gonna need that if you want to increase your volume. Or you could change your volume, like subtract it if you want it quieter. Like every time it's played, it goes quieter. And you can set it back to 100. And that also just shows how much volume you have. And then if you scroll down again, you have events. These basically change how your game plays out. Or start your game. Like this, when the flag is clicked, it plays the duck sound. There we go. And then there's, if you press space, something will happen. If you click a sprite or a game object, something's going to happen. Or if a certain backdrop switches to a different backdrop, something else happens. Or if the loudness reaches some level, something else happens. No. If the loudness reaches some level, then something else happens. Or if you receive some message, then something will happen. And you can also use this to send messages as well, if you need. And then we have... And here we have the control area, where you can do this. If you have like a duck sound you want to play again, you can wait 1 second, and it'll play. So you can do this to wait code. So if you want like a healing to occur when you eat a healing potion, you can have a 1 second wait, like a 1 second wait for like the animation to play out, and then it'll happen. And then there's the repeat for several things to happen at once, like this. For it to happen more than 1 time, and you can set how many times you want it. It could happen 2 times, 3 times, it doesn't matter. But if you set it to like a really big number, that's considered going on forever. So you don't want that. And then we have the actual forever block that plays it literally forever. But there is no end to it. It's unlimited ducks. And then we have the if-then block. That makes it to where, like, let's say, if chicken eats apple, then heal 20. Yeah. It basically, yeah. If you want something to happen, then and then it plays out. And then you have the if something happens, then play out, else. So that means if you have something that wants to play out, and then it plays out, or if, let's say if key had, then play out, open the door. But else means, like, other than that, if it doesn't happen, then key or door not open. And then you have wait until. You can choose how long you want to wait, wait until, for example, wait until volume, I don't know, reaches 100 if you want. It basically waits until you set it an amount, not seconds, but waits until something happens to play out something. And then 3.
What?
Right, quieter, please. And then you have the repeat until, which makes something happen until, it's kind of like the wait until. It repeats until something, you make something happen here. You don't want that, because that's going to go on forever. And then there's the stop all, which will stop everything in your project. If you have it on, things are moving about, it'll stop everything to where it presses that automatically and everything stops. And you have an option to stop this script only. So let's say we have infinite ducks forever, and then we press we add this. It'll play the duck sound and then stop this script instead of it going on forever. And then let's say we have other scripts in Sprite. If we have this playing and another piece of code having this, it'll stop the other code in Sprite. And then if we go down more, we have the when I start as clone, the create clone of myself, and delete this clone. Cloning basically does as it says. Let's say you move this right here. It's right there. You can create clone of myself. And then, hold on, I think we need to press this for it to work. Create clone of myself. Spam a lot of times. And then if we move 10 steps, yep, the clone's right there. The clone basically adds a duplicate, like clones are supposed to do. And then you can create the delete this clone block that will delete all of your clones. I think you need to, yeah, there we go. You need to delete the clone and press the green flag. And then you can do when I start as a clone. So when you make a clone, you can do it when I start as a clone, move, I don't know, 20 steps. So create clone of myself, and it moved 20 steps from the first one. So that's pretty neat. We're going to want to delete these clones. So let's go ahead, go down here, and delete these clones. And I will say, mixing together these blocks will be a perfect combination for you to make your game. Or app, whatever it is you want to make. And then we're in the sensing section. This section basically has things that game objects will collide with, and it makes things happen. For example, if a game object's touching a mouse pointer, something will play out. Or any other game object at the edge of the screen, anything. Then this is if something's touching a specific color, then something will happen. Or if color green is touching color blue, then something will happen. You could switch the colors if you want. And if distance to mouse pointer is greater than, let's say, 100, then something will play out. It's very specific things, or very, yeah, I should say specific things that it's talking about here, like the distance from it, the color, green touching blue, and then there's an ask question, or ask block, that opens up this little text box, and you could say, what's your name? Let's do, I don't know, strawberry bread, which I've never heard such a thing ever in my life. And then it'll set in here the answer to be strawberry bread. It kind of works as like this answer holder that you can use at any time. You can put it in things, make it say the answer. Like if we put it in here, then it'll say strawberry bread, because that's the answer. think I like how this is coming along. And then we have the key space pressed, or the anything pressed. It's kind of like what we had before, but it's like in a different section. It doesn't really have a different use, but it still happens to play. It has the same thing that play out. Like if key space press, then something will happen. And then we have the mouse down, which is if the mouse is clicked, but only one time. And then I think it's only one time. I think no. It's like more than once. I don't really use the mouse down much, so I think it's once. Yeah, it is once. It's once. And then the mouse X and mouse Y tell where your mouse is. This is -2. It's not even on the screen yet, so it's just basing it off where it last was. So it tells you where that is, and you could set if things are draggable. So like in game, if we go in this, which is full screen mode, we can't really drag any of these things around. But if you set this mode to draggable, and then you can drag it around like that, which is good if you want to have like a touch and click game, point and click game. And then this is the loudness it shows. I'm pretty sure we saw it in the sound. But then there's also a timer that goes for as long as this is clicked still. You can click it again to reset it. And then you can press reset timer here manually if you want. And then there's backdrop of stage. Backdrop name of sprite exposition. Oh! I never actually used this, but this is great. Here, let me explain. So, this is basically telling you what the Y position of sprite 2 is, which is this, exactly with all the exact coordinates, and it tells you the direction 2. This is good if you want to do like if direction of sprite 2 equals some number, then play out something, or else, then something else will play out. And then we have the current year, which will show the current year. I don't know what this will be useful for because I've never actually used it, but it's a thing that works, I guess. I guess you'll use it if you want to tell the actual game, tell the actual time, real life time in a game, like Animal Crossing. And then you have days since 2000. I don't know why that's specifically there, that specific. You can't even change that value, but I'm just guessing that's the days since Scratch was created. And then there's your username that shows, and that's my username right there. Shows it up right there, shows it up there. And this is for, like, if you're making an online game, you can see other people's usernames. I used it, like, once, I think, when trying to make one. And then there's these where you can add or subtract values to show in your game, or do any of that, divide, multiply, subtract. And this picks a random number. 9, you can set your values to, like, that's a very big number. Let's see that. And that gave us also a very big number. So, yeah, you could do whatever you want. And then you can see if values are greater than the other, equal them. And these are all for, like if you're calculating, like, for example, someone's health in a game. And then there's this, which mixes two things together, like, if you want to figure out, like, if 2 equals 50 and 3 equals 40, or 40 equals 50, then play something out, which does not make any sense. Yeah, it's false. And then there's the OR, which plays something out like if, let's say, if 0 is less than 50, or 3 is less than 5 or 4, then one of these, if one of these are correct, something will play out. And then we have the not. So, for example, if not 4 equals 50, then play something out. That means if this doesn't occur, then play something out. And that's true, because 4 does not equal 50. And then there's the join, which is like joining two of these together. So you could join two words together, 90, 90, 990, and 90. So you could do that, and they can, like, say these things. So this is good for more speech, but you could just automatically put it in there if you wanted. But you also have these. I know about round, which basically does what it says. It rounds it up to the nearest number. And I don't know what the mod does though, or this. I never had to use that, and I don't know if you guys know. Oh wait, oh, it has to do something with more calculator stuff. Yeah, that's not true. But it has to do something with more calculator stuff. I know this is like some of this stuff is advanced like math, but yeah, this is like calculator stuff to like, or not really calculator stuff, but this is for like advanced calculating in your projects. But you don't always have to need that. And then you could choose what letter first of a specific word, like orange. First letter of orange is O, or letter 3 of orange is A. I haven't really used any of these before, but I don't know. Maybe they'll become useful for me later. Length of we already picked that. Apple contains a. Oh yeah, if it's like if 0 contain or if that number contains 0, then play something else. And then we have almost there variables, and these basically. Let's say you have variable HP set to 90. Let's say you have 90 health, and we can show that by going where is it? We can go here and show HP that we have 90 HP. It basically stores all of our variables that we want in there. So if our HP is 90 and let's say an enemy hits us, oh no, our health subtracts to 80. Or if you drink a healing potion, it goes up to 100. And these keep track of all your values in your game. So that's how you can make health possible, scores possible, anything possible, because it holds these values and it keeps them until you're ready to change them or show them. And now that we have that covered, oh yeah, you could also put words in these too. Like, for example, that. And you can use that for, like, a name, if you're, like, having that in, like, I don't know, like a RPG game, you're setting your name. You can combine these, ask that, and then have, like, set, you can do, like, set HP, or no, set HP, because that's the name, to answer, and the answer is nothing right now, because it didn't answer the question, but if I do, like, I don't know, Leo. It'll set that to that, and it'll show up there, because you're setting it to answer. So now we got that covered. Last but not least, make a block. Now if I make a block here, for example, apple. This means absolutely nothing, but we can define it from here, telling it what the block does, and we can use these to mix with this to define what this block does, and we can use it whenever we'd like. So, there we have it, folks. That is all the things you need to know about the sections for the coding blocks. Now, that seemed like a lot. It was, but you can just scroll through these quickly, get the things you need, and with this video, I think it will help you out a lot. I think it helped me out a lot, because I just realized some of these that I don't even use that I might need in the future. So, that's it for now, guys, and bye. BlueLock out. But before you leave, remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you later.